All right, y'all, today we're gonna do a little planting. There's definitely some managing that needs to be done still with the food forest over there, but I really want to get these trees in the ground. I got mountain soursop here. I have some annonas here, sugar apple, and it looks like a custard apple here, and then native mahoganies. Kind of like this method of propagating. It's just one of those big totes from like big box hardware stores. Drill holes in the bottom, fill up with medium, and you get a good little, not quite as amazing as a air prune box, but it's kind of like a quick and easy way to mimic that sort of vibe. So yeah, there's one random China berry in here. So like I said in the earlier videos, I'm leaving in a couple days to go to Oregon for 2 weeks, and there's nothing like a deadline to make me want to put trees in the ground. I oftentimes have an issue where I start a lot of tree seeds in pots in different ways like this, and then I never really get around to actually planting them. Maybe I run out of space very fast is an issue that I have, and so whenever there's a deadline coming up where I know I'm leaving for a couple weeks, then I kind of just like force myself to make an area for them. And so the area that I've been working on, putting all that banana biomass down back here, is where I'm going to be planting them. I put random things like cassava and casters and pigeon peas and things like that. When I first started this, actually it was like right before I went on vacation for like a week and some change. There's another deadline that I was like, I need to vegetate this area, so just do something. I threw a lot of cowpeas as well. It's just like a lazy cover crop, and a lot of them took, which is really nice. Looks pretty cool for absolutely zero effort other than throwing seeds. Oh, nice spider web. Okay, so if you recall, I put a lot of biomass back here. I'll probably put a little bit more today too. But yeah, a lot of early success in species. So there's some China berry, there's some castor, but I can squeeze more in, and that's what I'm gonna do here. And now I feel a little bit more comfortable now that there's this much biomass. I usually don't ever have plans with like what I'm gonna plant. What I do is I just make sure my planting area is super fortified, and then I'll come up with a plan. Because especially in areas like this was impenetrable brush not too long ago. So it wants to become impenetrable brush again. It's not just like a degraded pasture, you know, with like only one species of grass. This is what it looked like before, and it wants to look like that again, right? So I don't feel comfortable putting valuable trees. I think people are so quick to put the trees that they love and want, and they just forget the fact that weeds exist. They forget the fact that the reality is it could be super hard to maintain baby trees. And I've fallen into that trap way too many times when I first started. So I try to put emphasis on locking everything down in terms of biomass, in terms of shelter, in terms of the weed suppression more than anything. Then I could plant. So I'm gonna go ahead and plant some of these native mahoganies that I love so much, and then some of these annonas, with the mountain soursops being the one I really want to experiment with, because it's very rugged, very resilient. I feel like it would be a very good candidate for this kind of wild area back here. So go ahead and do that real fast. So I just want to touch on something. The tool that I'm using is this big iron bar with that point right here. Super useful tool, super heavy. We use this a lot in Honduras for like managing banana pups and just planting stuff in general on rocky ground. So what I like to do, because I think this tool is perfect for agroforestry, because you can be super precise on where you want to plant something. So say like there's a lot going on here, right, but you just want to plant something right there. You can put that down in there like that. Really good for cuttings too. I've been really liking this for planting cuttings. So it has that little hole right there, and then you can kind of just like swivel it around and make the hole a little bit wider. See that? And then I'll show kind of what that hole looks like. So a very perfect little hole right there. Nothing too intrusive. All the other plants aren't disturbed. If you try to do like a little mini shovel or like a hori-hori, even a hori-hori could be, well, a hori-hori is perfect, but even that could be a little bit wide. And just the power of something big and like that. I just really like that. So here's the bare root, and then you can just slide that right in there, and then boom, and then cover it, you know, accordingly. I can't do that much, but good with one hand. I guess I could try. Yeah, it just makes a perfect size little hole for tiny little saplings and cuttings as well. I have to fix that, but yeah, that's kind of the method that I'm doing. I just really love this tool. I think it's just super useful in so many different ways. So yeah. All right, the trees have been planted. Let's see. Yep. Mahogany. Another mahogany. I put the mahoganies because they grow super slow. Relatively slow. I put them in the more reinforced areas. And then the mountain soursops I put in a little bit less reinforced area. Pretty sure this is a custard apple. Yeah, you can see I kind of just peeled back the banana biomass, some mountain soursop, and just found little spots for them. Here's another mountain soursop. Just kind of trying to go somewhat dense, and I like to use also like pre-existing trees that were already here, kind of plant right under them. Kind of gives me a focal point, you know. And here as well, kind of helping. Mexican sunflowers hopefully will help give these guys a little bit of a protection, a little bit of shade. These are all mountain soursops. And yeah, like I said, the mahoganies, this is a custard apple. Mahoganies and custard apples in the more protected areas. I could come in here now and put some moringa seeds. I see that I skimped out on moringa over here. I'm not sure why. It's my favorite plant. So I might come back in and just put moringas on each of the little saplings that I planted. I could put some seeds in there to help things get moved along as well. So I'm gonna do some more managing this morning too. I'm not sure exactly what, but yeah, I'll see you there. All right, so it looks like more banana managing as per usual. I keep saying I'm gonna do canopy work, and then I keep finding banana clumps that need managing. So here's Basong Ceylon. Got too much action going on. There's this Barbados cherry here, a Barbados cherry there. I kind of want to open up sunlight for the Barbados cherries because they've actually been producing, and they're delicious. And then this Basong Ceylon as well. Even though it's not too problematic, I do want to utilize the biomass for the new area. So that's probably going to be the plan. And little other things as well, like topping off this Lucana that's been beautifully sprouting, making space for this Aki that's starting to grow above my head now, which is really cool. So yeah, I'll just manage that real fast, and you can kind of see a little bit of difference once the sunlight starts being able to poke through. And then you'll see, now that I planted those saplings in the back, now I have a little bit more structure of like, okay, I know where I want this banana biomass now, for sure. So I can go organize it in a little bit more of a organized fashion. So get to it, be right back. All right, that banana patch got managed. A lot more clear now, opened up. Just left 1, 2, 3, and then there's a little pup coming out, really nice distance away from each other. So that'll be the next generation. As always, I'd like to repeat myself just in case people are new here, but my context is that I work on a banana farm, an irrigated banana farm, so I'm able to be pretty ruthless with these bananas and not worry about them because, yeah, I have access to a lot of bananas already. So, and then just a quick little tip, whenever utilizing biomass and moving them around, I like to focus on the trunks first and then leaves last. So I've said that before in other videos, but it's just a good little key to always remember. Trunks first, always, so that you can just come back and with the leaves on top and cover up the trunks so that they don't get exposed to sun and dry up. So gonna go to the back area with all this biomass. All right, so real quick, I want to show where I'm going to be putting the biomass. Remember, I planted some of these mountain soursops here, and I'm kind of liking this as a bed in general with the Mexican sunflowers here. So this is an issue for sure. This Brazilian pepper and all these muscadines are going to want to just jump over. And you can already see here, there's a bunch of torpedo grass and baby Caesar weeds all up in here. So this is going to be an issue for sure. And I'm going to clear it up a little bit and then start laying the biomass down here just so I can relieve myself of that little bit of pressure that's right here. All right, I cleared this little alleyway, found a eolification snag that was housing a bunch of vines and stuff. So I'm going to chainsaw that down whenever I get the chance. Yeah, just kind of wanted to show how I put the banana biomass down, and then with the logs at least, and then I'm gonna come with the leaves on top. So suppress like the heavy stuff on the bottom to help suppress, and then the leaves on top kind of acting as like cardboard almost, you can see. So that's the deal. Mexican sunflower is going to grow for, I'm not sure how long I'm gonna keep it growing, but I really want to experiment with like having the Mexican sunflower grow for like maybe a year, and then ripping out the clumps and using that area as a new area to plant something more valuable in. So maybe the Mexican sunflower is just in the beginning when things are super weedy. And so yeah, that's why I'm kind of making this a bed, even though Mexican sunflower is usually, it's ideal to have like your bed that you want and then Mexican sunflowers on the side. But out here in this bushy, weedy area, I kind of want to experiment with what does it look like having a few months or a year of Mexican sunflower, then ripping it out. So still going to make this my bed, even though I know the Mexican sunflowers can kind of take over, but I'm just an experiment this year. We'll see what happens. All right, before I add any more leaves to the back, I'm going to go ahead and harvest this Orinoco. It's pretty much ready, and I want to harvest it and enjoy some before I leave. So yeah, this one's coming down, and most likely this one here. Really want to open up some sunlight. I have a beautiful soursop in here, and some other stuff, pineapple down in there too. And yeah, I really want to open up as much as I can, and so I might as well. So I'm gonna add this biomass as well to the back, and we're gonna see how much coverage that gives us for weed suppression. So down goes the Orinoco. All right, the Orinoco got managed. Left some of the better pups. I could come in here and do a little bit more pup management, but for now I just want to focus on the big stuff. Lots of leaves to work with, cart full of banana trunks to keep reinforcing that back area back there. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay down all of these and then lay down all the combined leaves together, and you'll see the effect, that nice border effect that will create back there. Hopefully help stop the encroaching weeds. All right, excuse the noise. It's done. Super resilient bed now. It's not perfect, you know. Weeds will still come through, but nowhere near as bad as it would have had I not done this. So yeah, just investing for the future in this area. I think I'm pretty much done for the day. I might do something else, I'm not sure. But just wanted to give you all that look. Now all these mountain soursops and everything else that I planted in this little area are gonna have a lot more resilience, a lot less weed pressure. So yeah, this back part is starting to shape up nicely, and I'm super excited. I'm kind of like the challenge of trying to figure out how to work in these very weedy systems. So we'll see what happens.